Good morning, everybody. It's great being here today. Thank you, everybody here for attending the Zero Waste Symposium, and I'd like to welcome you to the City of San Diego's presentation, The Road to Zero Waste. My name is Derek Lamb, and I'm a recycling specialist with the City Environmental Services Department, and I'm here to provide a brief update. So a bit of background, the City of San Diego Environmental Services Department oversees a variety of city functions, including but not limited to the collection services to over 290,000 single-family homes, running and managing the Miramar landfill and the Miramar Greenery, managing the household hazardous waste facility at the landfill, illegal dumping abatements and community cleanups, solid waste and recycling code enforcement, and zero waste planning and education. I also wanted to outline the top 5 priorities for the City of San Diego Environmental Services Department. The first 2 being amending the City Recycling Ordinance, or CRO for short, and increasing AB 1826 and CRO compliance. So amending this ordinance and ensuring compliance with these regulations are a priority this year because ensuring the appropriate entities are consistently recycling is how we will ensure we reach our zero waste goals within our time frame. We are also improving recycling participation and recyclable material quality. This is always an important goal to continue improving upon. Preparing for and planning for SB 1383 implementation. And finally, continuing work under COVID restrictions and increased trash levels. So based on our current calculations at the landfill and recycling centers, the trash and recycling loads are actually up by nearly 11% versus the same time last year. I also wanted to review some local ordinances that San Diego is currently consistently working with. The City Recycling Ordinance, as mentioned earlier, this essentially states that all single-family, multifamily, commercial, and industrial properties and permitted special events must divert their recyclable materials from the trash. There's also a strong educational component to this ordinance as well. We also work with the Construction and Demolition Debris Deposit Program. So this program requires a majority of the construction, demolition, and remodeling projects to divert their debris by reuse, donating, or recycling their materials. And by these materials, I mean materials like concrete, asphalt, wood, and metals. We also have the Zero Waste Plan. This lays out a plan to divert 90% of the city's waste by 2035 and 100% by 2040. The Climate Action Plan. This calls for eliminating half of all greenhouse gas emissions in the city and aims for all electricity in the city to be from renewable sources by 2035. And the Polystyrene Foam and Single-Use Plastics Ordinance. So this calls for the elimination of polystyrene foam and single-use plastic products from the city. However, we did have to put this on pause due to litigation, and there's currently an environmental impact report in progress. So where does the trash go in San Diego? There are 3 landfills in the San Diego region, but the Miramar landfill is the city-run and maintained landfill, and it's also the one in closest proximity. The Miramar landfill is the largest landfill in the region, but it's expected to be full and closed by 2028. So reaching our landfill capacity is coming up fast. So we in the city and in the county, we're encouraged to recycle and divert as much waste as we can to extend the life of the landfill. Much like any landfill, once this is full, another landfill must be dug to accommodate the amount of waste the city produces, and it will most likely be farther as well. So it's in everybody's environmental and financial benefit to do what we can to extend the life of the landfill. So 75 acres of the Miramar landfill is dedicated to the Miramar Greenery. This is where a lot of the city's green waste goes and where all curbside collected green bin waste goes as well. The Greenery has the capacity to compost over 150,000 tons of material per year. 7,500 tons of this is from food waste, 3,500 tons is from wood waste, and the remainder consists of green waste. So the city and the Miramar Greenery are gearing up to make additional adjustments to accommodate the additional tonnage that will come from SB 1383 implementation, such as when we begin collecting food waste from single-family homes. I also wanted to talk a little bit about the commercial food scraps composting program. So this program wasn't impacted by COVID due to the pandemic heavily affecting the food service industry. We understand a lot of restaurants either had to close or reduce services in many areas as their priorities have changed. So regarding the annual inspections we do for the food scraps program participants, and as an FYI, the annual inspections are required for those who are bringing their food waste to the Miramar Greenery. This is to ensure our compost remains contaminant-free and high quality. We've opted to do virtual inspections instead, where the participants send in the requested photos to complete the requirement checklist. We also began to offer virtual trainings via YouTube, where instead of on-site trainings, we ask staff to review the training video and sign off a sheet to show that they've completed the virtual training. So the CalRecycle Organics Grant was a grant awarded to the city to develop new technologies and methodologies to increase organics diversion in the city of San Diego. So two things I wanted to highlight today are the CASP system at the Miramar Greenery and Kitchens for Good. So the CASP system, or the Covered Aerated Static Pile, is a new composting technology utilized at the greenery where the compost piles are covered and aerated. So that increases the rate of decomposition for the compost and also increases the amount of material the greenery can take in. So this is really important for being able to handle the influx of organic waste to come with SB 1383 implemented. And under the grant, the Miramar Greenery can also divert an additional 32,500 tons of organic waste utilizing the new CASP system. So the cool part of this system is that it actually allows for the proper decomposition of the compost while allowing for a larger food waste to yard waste ratio. Without this system, you usually need about a 50-50 ratio of food waste to yard waste. But with the CASP system, we can accept up to 80% food waste and it still decomposes properly. In Kitchens for Good, the grant funded new kitchen equipment to assist with the donation of food to the hungry. So under this grant and with the new kitchen equipment, there was over 90,000 pounds of edible food rescued and over 90,000 meals distributed to disadvantaged communities. Another new initiative that we are proud of is the partnership with the Recycling Partnership. So under this partnership, the city will be increasing its proactive outreach specifically to the multifamily sector. The multifamily sector in any jurisdiction with mandatory recycling typically has the lowest recycling diversion compared to any other sector, which includes single family homes and commercial businesses. This is usually due to the sheer number of people trying to access the same trash and recycling containers. But under this grant, the city will be conducting door-to-door recycling outreach and handing out new recycling tote bags at participating properties. So this is all pending public health guidelines, as we won't be doing this when it's unsafe. And under this grant, we'll also be offering multilingual services too, which is great. So we can actually reach some demographics that we aren't normally able to reach out to. So in light of the pandemic, we did have to pivot a lot of our educational programs to virtual webinars. Under normal circumstances, we do work closely with I Love a Clean San Diego and Solana Center for Environmental Innovation to conduct outreach to the public. So when COVID hit, we had to work together to bring this outreach to the public in a safe virtual setting. So both independently as a city and in conjunction with the contractors, we have conducted and are planning to do additional webinars concerning zero waste living and food waste reduction at home, multifamily recycling program assistance, and webinars focused on upcoming recycling and organics recycling regulations. So some of the benefits of this transition moving to virtual include a wider audience reach and more flexibility with residents with their work from home schedules. And some challenges include not being able to reach residents with limited technology access. Right now, there's a lot of online webinar fatigue, and we do lose a lot of the in-person relationships we usually get to nurture with in-person events. So during COVID and within the past year or so, we've also been developing some new resources that are and will be available to the public. Some of these new educational resources include a new city recycling ordinance handout for both the commercial and the multifamily sectors, a technical assistance flyer handout, a multifamily property manager's guide to recycling, a multifamily recycling program checklist, and an updated what goes where flyer and a Spanish translation of that as well. So if anyone is interested in these resources, I encourage you to either reach out to me or visit our website, which is on the next slide. And thank you. This about wraps up my presentation today. Thanks everyone for listening in. Again, my name's Derek. There's my email right there. It's dlam@sandiego.gov. And if anyone is interested in those resources, that's our website right there, recyclingworks.com. So thanks.